The rumors of my death are not greatly exaggerated. I almost died, but I'm back and I'm doing React Court. I was going to say I'm playing React Court, but that's not really, it's not really a game. This is real life, right? Hello, everybody, by the way. We're going to get started here. It's been probably close to a month since we played it, so I'm ready to go. I'm looking at like most popular posts from the past month. Am I the asshole for not tattooing my stepson's name on my arm with my kids' names? Okay. A little spicy to start, no doubt about that. I'm 36, my wife is 35. Rare 1 year age difference on Reddit. Doesn't happen that much. He is older though, so already it's a little problematic. I have 2 kids with my first marriage, 9M and 7F. I've been married to my wife for 4 years. We have a 1F daughter. She has an 8-month son from her first marriage. That's got to be 8 years, right? They've been married for 4 years and she has an 8-month-old son from her first marriage? Eight male. Okay, thank you. I don't necessarily, okay, my mistake. That makes sense. The kids all live with us. My kid's mother has visitations 1 weekend a month. Her son's dad isn't involved at all. 8 million sons? What is she, like a damn spider? I have the names of my oldest 2 kids tattooed on my arm. I just recently added the name of my youngest daughter. My wife and I were talking about the tattoo, and she asked me if I'll tattoo my stepson's name in the same round as our daughter's. I told her I have no intention of tattooing his name. Sheb was shocked and asked me why. I said I only have the names of my children tattooed. She said I am excluding her son and he is part of this family too. I refused to tattoo his name and proceeded to only tattoo my daughter's name. Wife called me all sorts of things. Am I the asshole? This might surprise you. I love when I have a take and then I look at chat and it's the opposite take just scrolling past. Maybe this is like, I mean, I don't want this to spiral into a conversation with higher order implications, but like, I think a tattoo is very much like a personal take. It's your body, it's your skin. I think you're not the asshole for in any situation for choosing not to get a tattoo. Even like this is taking it to a logical extreme maybe, but if you had 2 kids and you only got like one of your kids' names tattooed on you, that's probably a little messed up, but also, I mean, it's your body. I think you have the choice. Hello.
She cried again.
Oh, that's okay.
And then the daycare lady was like, "Is she sick?" Because like she cried yesterday too. And then after I left, she would be like not crying, and then she would cry, and then she would not cry, and then she would cry, and there's like nothing happening.
Yeah, it's okay. She'll be fine. She's got to go through it in order to break the separation anxiety to begin with.
And she's like, "Mommy," and then she gets distracted, and she remembers mommy, and then she goes like, "Wah."
Oh, it's sad for sure.
Oh my god.
But then honestly, like, so my wife drops our daughter off at daycare. She cries every single time. When I pick her up, she's having the time of her life. Every time I pick her up, she doesn't notice I'm there for like 30 seconds, and she's just with the other kids, and they're like, "Bee!" And then they all like toddle over to this bush, and they're like, they do the baby squat where like their feet are flat on the ground, and they bend so deep that like their butt is touching the grass, and they're all there together going like, "Bee! Hello, Bee! Bee! Hi, Bee!" It's crazy. Like, I honestly, I think I got the easy job picking her up. She is going sumo ass to grass. Like, it's crazy. Don't make fun of my finger. Anyway, I mean, here's the thing. I think this is one of those things. Okay, you jealous. I think this is one of those things where like, is it a little bit of an asshole move to not get your stepson's name tattooed on your body? Yes, I think it's a little bit of an asshole move for sure. obviously from the perspective of the stepson, it does kind of feel like you're a lesser child than the others in the eyes of your stepdad. However, I think it's one of those situations where like if you're the stepdad, I'm kind of like, I mean, I have to take the bullet of being a little bit of an asshole in order to maintain my own ability to get the tattoos I choose to get. Like at the end of the day, I think it's a very personal thing. It's not like he's not inviting the stepson out for like, family dinner or something like that because he's not really his son. He's like, the tattoo is very personal. It's on your body forever. Obviously, this guy has been divorced once, so he maybe in his head he's like, well, maybe in like 10 years we could we could get it tattooed. I don't know. If I was asked would I get the tattoo, I would probably get the tattoo. I probably wouldn't have to be asked, to be honest, to begin with. But I also completely understand like why he wouldn't. That seems reasonable to me. I mean, like most of the time, you should put your own self-interest aside to promote the interest of your family, especially your kids. And that includes your stepkids. But like a tattoo is it's a very personal thing. It's not like they're like, hey, can you stop drinking for like one day so you can drive your kid to softball practice? They're like, can you put permanent ink on your arm? I think it's a little prickly, but I can definitely understand their position. I'm going to say not the asshole, to be honest. I know you can get it removed, but like it hurts, right? I think it hurts. Okay, hold on. I'm going into the comments. I just want to see what the comments look like here. All right, some of these comments make a pretty good point that I didn't necessarily consider. You're the asshole. You've been a father figure to him for half his life. Poor boy will probably be shattered when he realizes you don't actually see him as yours. True. That's pretty true. Have you considered, though, that a man should have the domain over his own bodily autonomy? Maybe as the 8-year-old considered that a grown man should have the right to choose what gets permanently etched into his skin? Has the 8-year-old considered that? I don't know. Same, sadly. As a step-parent myself, this speaks volumes for his relationship with the kid and how he views him subconsciously. Not to sound like one of those Redditors, I don't say this lightly. The lie detector test determined that was a damn lie. This comment was probably written on the toilet. If I was OP's wife, I'd be doing some hard thinking about how I was going to fix this, and if I couldn't, it would be divorce. I've been the one to question my place in the family, and it hurts and has lasting repercussions on a person's mental health. So now, like, let's flip the script. All of a sudden, you're the stepdad in this situation. Your wife comes to you and says, hey, get your stepson's name tattooed on your forearm, or we're getting a divorce. Probably the most insane ultimatum I've ever heard in my entire life. That being said, reading between the lines on this post, this is like a hurt people sort of thing, right? This person obviously has experience with this, like as a child that created some trauma, and now that has become something for them that is like a pressure point where if it happened to them as an adult, they would be like, I'm going to blow up my whole life because of this. So I guess I understand. My husband's in his 40s, only recently opened up about how it hurt that his stepdad treated him differently than his half-brothers. This could cause a lifetime of pain. This is called parental differential treatment. There are studies about how harmful it is. Please look this up and understand you're the asshole. When you married your wife, you became that boy's... The user received gold for this post, by the way. You became that boy's dad. What you were doing now is actively harming him. So allow me to play the devil's advocate here. I think you could be... I understand the philosophy, but I think you could be a great dad and stepdad and treat your stepchild the exact same way that you treat your other children, but just not get the tattoo on your body. Like, I don't think those are mutually exclusive. You don't have to get a tattoo of your child's name, biological or otherwise, to be like a good dad. The kid doesn't have to know that his name's not tattooed on his stepdad, okay? The dad could just wear long sleeve shirts for like the next, I don't know, like, well, not even that long. If he wears long sleeve shirts for 5 years, then his stepson will be 13. And then his stepson will be like, wow, it would be really cringe. Stepdad, it's so cringe that you got my name tattooed on you. And then you'd be like, surprise, I didn't. Get owned. We were playing the long con. For a third of your life, I've been setting up this own. How does that feel? I don't know. Maybe I'm taking it not seriously enough. But I just feel like you can just be like a good... The problem is not that he's not getting the tattoo. The problem is that he's gotten the tattoo with all of his other children's names. Okay, I understand that that's the way it's perceived. But I think you could just be like a great dad and also not get a tattoo. I don't know. It's not even about the kid. Yeah, it's more about like, the family. Like, isn't there a stat on divorce that's like, okay, 50% of marriages end in divorce, but like that it's actually like 30% of people get divorced, and then like there's some people that get married and divorced like 8 times that blow up the curve. All I'm saying is this guy has a predilection towards possibly getting divorced again, so I can understand why he doesn't want to get the tattoo. That's bad stats? I don't know. I feel like most couples don't get divorced, and then a lot do, but then the reason the divorce rate is so high is because everyone knows like one of your uncles is a dentist who's been married 7 times, You're like, really? Like you met at a resort last month and you're getting married again? This is the 8th new name. This is Aunt Linda number 8. And you expect me to buy you a toaster? A Hamilton Beach 4-slice toaster at your 8th wedding? Are you crazy? Anyway, I don't know. That's a prickly one. That was a good one to get started on. A lot of people disagree. And you know what? I mean, as long as we're all being reasonable. Oh, here we go. Am I the asshole for refusing to wear quote unquote protection at a family gathering? Let me guess. Let me guess what protection is in this context. I'm going to guess that it's a 0.2 millimeter thick cloth mask is my expectation. Maybe I could be wrong. See update on my profile. My 18F family gets together every summer in my grandparents' cottage. It's a really big house and can accommodate all/most of the family. This summer has been the first time doing the get-together since COVID. Oh, but I thought you got together every summer. We're on sentence number 3 and the whole thing's fallen apart already. Your Honor, motion to dismiss. Everyone has made a huge effort to come as it's a very important tradition. It's my parents' generation, with some as young as their early 30s, and then their kids 1 to 8, and finally me and my younger cousin in the middle, who I don't get along with as she's a bit of a brat/mean towards me. I usually don't mind playing babysitter, but this time I was asked to too much, and I'm afraid refusing might cause permanent damage with my family. I can understand that. You're 18 years old. You don't want to... I mean this sincerely. You want to look at your phone for 6 hours and talk to your friends. You don't want to be babysitting a bunch of 1 to 8-year-olds all day while like the rest of your family gets hammered on like White Claws and hard Topo Chico and stuff like that. Most of the children are at that age where they're still potty training or still wetting the bed. This runs in my family. Some of the older kids were refusing to put on their nighttime underwear because they were embarrassed to do it with their cousins there. Not all of them wet the bed. So my grandmother decided to avoid any embarrassment for the children, they would all wear protection for a few days. So protection in this case is a diaper, like a nighttime diaper. And they would be able to stop wearing it if they did not wet the bed. This is like a battle royale. Last man standing. If you don't piss your pants, you don't have to wear the diaper anymore. Okay, so we're at the part of the post where it gets insane. This was all well until my cousin, 15, who sleeps with the kids because she's still considered one, was asked to wear the protection too to set a good example for the children. I did not see anything wrong with this. Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Asking a 15-year-old to wear a nighttime diaper to show solidarity with children who are 1 to 8 is insane. This is legit a fetish scenario post. I don't know if something's wrong with you or if something's wrong with the internet. Maybe I want to believe that it's not, okay? It's both. Because I do think there's a lot of like false positives. People will be like, I got the head of my dick hit with a sledgehammer. Should I go to the hospital? People are like, this is fake. It's a fetish post. Lots of people out there love having the tip of their dick smashed with a sledgehammer. And I'm like, I don't think so. But I don't know. This might not be a false positive. I'm going to continue reading it and we'll hit the eject button if it turns into something even more disgusting. But anyway, like this is just to where we're at in the post. Yeah, it's not good to force a teenager to wear a diaper to go to bed. The thing with, okay, so 1 to 8-year-old kids are like, oh, I don't want to wear the diaper unless our cousin wears it. Okay, sorry, you're 6, so you're going to wear the diaper. I don't know what you want. Welcome to real life. Like, when you're 1 to 8 years old, you're not calling the shots. If you were calling the shots, the world would be even more fucked up than it already is. Sometimes you got to do what you're told. Yeah, be mad. Okay, cry it out. Who cares? Anyway, she did not like having to wear the bedwetting diaper and thought she was too old for that. My grandmother reminded her that I wet my bed until I was 16, so she's not too old. Okay, so now because one of my other family members wet the bed, now I gotta wear a diaper? Catching strays for no reason at all? She argued that if she, who had not wet the bed in over 10 years? She who has not wet the bed in over 10 years had to wear the underwear, then so should I, because I only stopped bedwetting a couple of... Oh, I'm out of here, man. This just doesn't sound right. I'm not even suggesting it's a fetish post. It's just, I don't know. It just doesn't sound right. Something's not right. I'm glad that one weekend a year these people are all hanging out together and they're not in Gen Pop with the rest of us. I would love for you to tell me what weekend that is so I feel more comfortable going outside. I don't want to read anything else you ever write for the rest of your entire life. Am I the asshole for pretending a movie trilogy is a TV series to my girlfriend who hates movies? I don't even really understand this, but it sounds so innocuous as to be hilarious. Some am I the assholes are like, I shot my girlfriend in the leg. Am I the asshole? And some of them are like, I forgot to use my signal light once. Am I the asshole? Both could make you the asshole, but I have a penchant for both of them, quite frankly. I like the innocuous ones. Like the one where they eat each other's shredded cheese and they're like about to break up over it. I love those. So my girlfriend hates movies for some reason, but really loves to binge TV shows like crazy. She's a big fan of sci-fi and even time travel. Holy cow, even time travel? She's an advanced sci-fi viewer. Like Doctor Who, for example, big fan. However, apparently she's never heard of Back to the Future. I mean, this is like this is more fake than the last post. You never seen is one thing, but you've never heard of Back to the Future? And your girlfriend is older than, 18 years old, presumably. I don't know. I'd be surprised. Advanced sci-fi viewer, never heard of Back to the Future. She loves time travel, by the way, never heard of I mean, it's possible, but I tried to watch Looper with her, but she immediately dismissed it because it's a movie. So since I'm a bit, it's just a very funny sentence. So since I'm a big fan of Back to the Future, I told her it's a TV series. I've got the trilogy digitally and spent all night trimming it down to like 40-minute snippets with as reasonable points to cut at, like just after the first travel back. Holy cow, that's so funny. You think he edited like the Netflix sting into the front of it? Like the dum. That's actually amazing. I overlaid to be continued and added credits at the end. She's used to Netflix skipping the intro to shows, so I didn't have to bother with that. The credits were cut short as well. We binged the entire thing in a day. Well, it's 2 hours long. I gotta know, dude. Like, is this guy, he's got like a supercomputer in his house or something too? This seems like he was doing a lot of rendering. They watched all 3 movies? Okay, that's crazy. We binged the entire thing in a day. She absolutely loved it. Although she complained about some of the episode endings because they felt off. Yeah, I wonder why. Afterwards, I told her why it felt off because it's actually 3 movies and not a TV show. But I'm glad she liked it regardless. She wasn't having it. After calling me a liar and asshole for betraying her like that, she stormed off to go home instead of staying the night as was planned. I mean, yeah, I did lie to her, but personally, I don't see it as that bad. So am I the asshole? We talked over lunch break. Over lunch break? What the hell? Over lunch break? How old are you? Or are you co-workers? Maybe they're co-workers? We talked over lunch break and everything's fine. I apologized to her again for tricking her and said I didn't mean to upset her. I just wanted to share this movie I love with her. As some comments said, she felt belittled and like I made fun of her. She apologized for overreacting as she realized it came from a place of care and good intentions, even if they were selfish. She wants more communication in the future, though. She didn't lose trust in me, and she doesn't think I'm having malicious intent with her either. We're gonna watch Looper tonight! Bad chest! Bad chest! Looper! Mom says we can watch Looper tonight. I have to, it's so funny how overblown the conversation to reconcile was versus the actual offense in the first place. She wants more communication in the future, though. Bro, you edited Back to the Future into a TV show. You put a little splice in every 40 minutes and then told her it was a TV show. It's not like, you don't have to blow up the whole relationship for that. This is just funny. This is just a funny post. Assuming it's real. I don't even have I don't have anything else to say. The thing that's really funny is that it's such a minor thing. To blow up into a real fight is hilarious. He spliced Looper into YouTube Shorts. Yeah, dude, if he wants, what he should actually do, oh, my girlfriend, she doesn't like TV shows or movies because she only watches TikTok. Well, I really like The Irishman. So I edited it down to 543 30-second chunks and edit it into portrait style like it was taken from a cell phone. And then I showed them all to her in a playlist called Amazing TikTok Saga About Old Mobsters. Hashtag LOL. Anyway, maybe we lost our way on the bit there a little bit. That's very funny, though. I like that. Am I the asshole for not wanting my female best friend to move out once I get married? This one has no verdict, by the way. No, never mind. It's 65% you're the asshole. Uh, it says not enough info, but then the comments tell the real story. I love that. You won't believe what Brad Pitt found inside of the box. Think David Fincher is only known for the ultimate girl boss movie Gone Girl? You're wrong. 75 years ago in 1995, he made a thriller based on the Bible called Seven. At the end of the movie, there's a classic scene. You may have seen meme reaction images of a young Brad Pitt in his first starring role saying, "What's in the box?" Turned out it was Pepper Potts' head. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you with more movie spoilers tomorrow. Don't bad chest Seven. Seven's a good movie. Kevin Spacey's in it, but he plays a bad guy, so it's okay because he is a bad guy. If Kevin Spacey was playing a hero, I would be like, this movie's fucked up to watch. But Kevin Spacey's playing a psychopath. I'm like, holy shit, he wasn't acting. Am I the asshole for not wanting my female best friend to move out once I get married? I know this sounds a little weird, but I'm in such a strange position right now, and I genuinely have no idea what to do. So me, 32 male, I'm 33, so I got a little extra wisdom, but I can put myself in your shoes. And my best friend, Sam, 32F, have been living together for 5 years now. Originally, it was supposed to be a temporary situation because of some health issues she was having. We decided she was permanently going to move in with me when we found out her health wasn't going to get better. Okay, now inevitably is the part where now I'm an asshole because I thought it was just going to be, we just like each other's company, but she's schizophrenic and blind, along with having various other medical issues, so a lot of daily tasks are difficult for her. Our arrangement is, I cook, clean, and drive and do other things, while she pays for all of our shared living expenses. He was right. He's in a strange position. He does kind of have. This is really like a. He's kind of like a caretaker. I mean, they can still be friends, but like. But he has like a job. This honestly has been a dream situation for us. It allows me to do my dream job for which pay is. So you have a job and a job. You're a two job Andy. I gotta keep reading. I'm getting sidetracked too easily. It allows me to do my dream job while she lives a pretty normal independent life and gets support with her health issues. Plus she never has to do housework. +2. I met my girlfriend 3 years ago. Sam and Emma were never super close, but they were always friendly, and Emma was super understanding of our living situation and never mentioned having a problem with it to me. Recently, we started talking about getting married and moving in together. While we were discussing it, I mentioned I didn't know what would happen to Sam once we got married. Emma got kind of irritated and said Sam would just move out and get her own place finally. I reminded her it wasn't that simple, but we started fighting and I asked to change the subject. It came up again when Emma said something about moving into my apartment. Hold on, I gotta scroll here. And I told her we couldn't because it was Sam's apartment, not mine, and I'd never be able to afford the rent. Okay. We started fighting again. I said Sam could never live by herself, and I wasn't sure I could get married if it meant I had to leave her alone. Emma said she needed space to think and drove away. A couple hours later, she texts me and basically says I can keep having an emotional affair with Sam if I want, but she won't put up with it anymore. She doesn't want to talk to me for a week, and then after that, we can talk about if we want to be together. I'm seriously so lost and conflicted. Emma never expressed these opinions before. I want to be with Emma and live with her, but I can't just kick Sam out on the side of the road either. I'd absolutely be willing to live Sam if she found another arrangement that worked for her, but I might be the asshole for not being willing to leave Sam without a new caretaker to marry Emma. Hey! Buddy, you are fucked. Your life is a damn like powder keg right now. Is there like a like you have my sympathy YHMS? YHMS? I mean, I definitely think it's not unreasonable for a person to assume that once they got married, they would live together, like alone, together alone. You know what I mean? Uh, that seems pretty normal, kind of a normie take. Assuming this post is real, which we got to do to begin with, I can also understand being like, hey, I can't just leave my friend who is dependent on me. At the same, I don't know, like without being too much of an asshole myself, I guess, what did you think was going to happen? Like, you're gonna keep this arrangement up for like the next 50 years until one of you dies? At some point, you gotta, like, you know, I mean, again, this is like a little maybe forehead. At some point, Sam has to be in charge of her own caretaking, right? Like, or like, I don't think you could reasonably just be like, oh, my long term plan is to just keep paying all of the living expenses for this guy and he'll be the caretaker for me. That doesn't seem like a stable long term plan. Maybe he could marry both. I'm not saying get over, your blindness. I'm just saying at some point it's like, I mean, like, this guy is not like, he's not a caretaker. Maybe I'm oversimplifying, but I feel like he's just like a guy. He's not like a professional nurse or somebody who's equipped to handle these issues. I think he's just like a friend. It seems like this is a situation that has a long-term chance for like disequilibrium to begin with. Is he the is he the asshole? I don't know. I don't think he's an asshole necessarily. I think he's being an asshole to his fiance a little bit by assuming that nothing about their situation would ever have to change and they would just get married and live as normal. But I think he's being very nice and concerned with the well-being of his friend. So I don't know, does that cancel out? Or is he both? Is he existing in like a quantum superposition of like being the asshole and being the not the asshole at the same time? Read the edit? Okay. You guys are right. It's dumb for me to try to hide this from Sam. She'd probably want to know what's going on. Lastly, okay, my pay isn't great, including my savings and Emma's job too. We could get married and be fine financially without Sam's money. Emma knew our financial arrangement this whole time. It's no surprise to her. Lastly, I made it clear that while I'm hesitant to leave Sam, it's not because I like the money and the lifestyle she provides. This is 100% about what's best for Sam. Me and Sam will talk about it in a few hours and I'll update then. So that was a damn lie. This post was 23 days ago. No update. Emma definitely killed him. We need to get the true crime community on this one right now. Where is user/dangerous ad 5075? We need to find this information. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this is, I'm going to start doing this anytime a post has controversy associated with it. I'm just going to say that it feels fake anyway, so I don't need to weigh in. I don't know. That's honestly just reading this post, and this is a very selfish thing for me to say. Reading this post made me exhausted. It sounds like your life is very exhausting right now, and I fucking feel for you because that's a horrible situation. I'm not even saying it's your fault you're in the situation. I'm just saying, like, it sounds like every day is a damn minefield. So I wish you the best, and I hope you get through it. What is YHMS? That's you have my sympathy. Am I the asshole for getting upset at my sister after she upstaged my bad news with good news? Is this like how I keep saying I almost died, and then people are like, "Hey, I had my job interview, called me back. I got the job. Thanks, NL." And I'm like, "I almost died." How dare you have good news when I almost died? Am I the asshole for getting upset at my sister after she upstaged my bad news with her good news? So to start off, I'm F21. My sister, Sabrina, I noticed you did not hesitate to drop your sister's name immediately and maintain your own anonymity. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Like, you might have made it up to begin with, but you didn't even give yourself a pseudonym. We're not particularly close, but we always got along. I was always closer to my brothers. Rare semicolon spotted in the wild. You are the asshole. She was closer to our parents. However, Sabrina lives very close to my college, so we've hung out a bit more in the past few months. Sabrina has a 10-year-old son, Isaac, from a previous relationship. He left after she told him she was pregnant. Okay? Isaac is autistic and nonverbal, but a sweet kid. A few days ago, it was his 10th birthday, and my sister basically invited our whole family to come, myself included. She is extremely proud of Isaac and describes to us his every move. Everything is another first. A few weeks before the party, Isaac said his first word. Obviously, my sister documented and told everyone. We were all very excited. He has said a couple more leading up to the party, even saying my name when I was out to dinner with him and his mother. I was thrilled. Okay, and then this is the turn. I was thrilled, but a few weeks ago as well, I found that I was pregnant with my oh my God. No, I can't. It's fake. Fake post. Get me out of here, man. What happened to Am I the Asshole? It used to be like, am I the asshole for eating all the fully loaded nachos? Now every single one is like, me. I got hit with a syphilitic cannonball back in the 1700s and my chest cavities caved in on itself. My girlfriend has been possessed by the ghost of an angry demon, and we're trying to decide what restaurant to go to. Like, it's just, what happened to the, now every single one is like, hey, just so you know, my sister has a lot of problems, and I told her to shut up. By the way, I also have a lot of problems. What happened to just we need to go back to the shredded cheese post. You know what it is, man? I'm not going to any more posts where the username is like adjective underscore verb underscore 4-digit number. You fucking liars. You creative writing Andes. I'm not going to any more default usernames. Look, how about this one? Throwaway rioting. That's a real human being that made this post, okay? I can at least get, I don't know if this is going to be real, but I can at least look at it. Am I the asshole for confronting my brother for pointing out my boyfriend isn't actually my husband? Okay, let's see. It is I expect people to make throwaways, okay? I'm just saying not default Reddit username throwaways. This is not adjective verb, thankfully. So I've been with my boyfriend for over 13 years, but boyfriend sounds really high school after everything we've been through, so I call him my husband and ask that my family does too. As a married person, I give you my permission to do that because who cares? Who gives a shit at all? I'm honestly just not that interested in your life. If you want to call your boyfriend of 13 years your husband, I honestly don't care. Oh, you didn't go through a day where you stand in front of a bunch of people and fucking repeat after some guy at the front. Nobody cares. Okay? I mean, some people probably care. Also, and this is an aside, but like, I don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but in Canada, common law is fucking crazy. Like, if you live with someone for like 2 years, you're legally married. I think I was legally married to like 6 people simultaneously in college, just because I had roommates that I, moved around with. Like, I think technically, oh, you have to file for it? I don't think so, because I thought I mean, this is like in 2004 or something like that. when I learned about it in like high school. But like, if we were basically told, like, if you live with somebody for 2 years, they can basically hit you with like a divorce settlement. They could, I mean, I'm not saying that like if you lived with your friend as a roommate, your roommate could like fake divorce you. But I think if you lived with like a partner, a romantic partner, and then you broke up, I think that your partner could go to a lawyer and be like, we were common law married, because you get common law married by default in Canada. Like it just happens after 2 years or 3 years, and you're entitled to some kind of like benefits as a result. At least in Ontario, it's 1 year in Ontario. That's crazy. Oh, 3 years. One if you have a kid together. No, I didn't sleep with my roommates. They're all engineers. Yuck. Anyway, okay. So I'm okay with her saying they're married. For the record, as somebody who's married, it's not like we're not a protected class. Husbands and wives, go ahead. I honestly, if you've been with someone for 13 years, you're fucking married, as far as I'm concerned. Like it's not like your relationship is any less legitimate than somebody who met their spouse 6 months ago and then got married in Las Vegas or something like that. Who cares? All right. So yesterday we had an early I mean, like, I feel like sorry for getting stun locked over and over by myself, but like the only reason I feel like you would get married after 13 years of being in a relationship together is so that you didn't have to have the conversation every time you met new people. You would just be like, oh, we should just fucking like spend 35 grand on a wedding just so we never have to be like, well, we just don't believe in the institution so much, you know? Like at that point you would just do it to never have to have the talk again. But anyway. So yesterday we had an early Father's Day get together at my mom's house, and I brought a Father's Day gift for each my stepdad and my two brothers. When we were doing the gifts, one of my brothers casually handed my husband the gift, and everyone stopped their own convos, started paying attention to them. My husband looked confused because we don't have any kids. My brother says in front of everyone, dude, come on. My brother says in front of everyone, I know y'all miscarried, so maybe you're not celebrating it, but I know how excited you were, and I think you would have been awesome at it. You might be an illegitimate brother-in-law, but you would have made a great dad. This never happened. There is nobody on earth that would do this, that would give you a gift for Father's Day after you went through this traumatic experience, and then while giving you the gift was also like, oh, by the way, you're not really married to my sister. This is idiotic, man. What happened to this subreddit? These are the filtered posts. This is an embarrassment. Am I the asshole for not saving my girlfriend's son when he was pinned under a bench press? What the hell? Season 2, Breaking Bad. All you had to do was lift the damn bar, man. Jesse! I don't care if this one's fake. At least there's probably not like a traumatic experience in this. I hope. At least this is probably just physical injury. I'm a 36-year-old man, and my girlfriend is 34. I'll call her Jenny. She has a son who is 14 from a previous relationship. I'll call him George. Jenny and I get along well in basically all but one department, George. As bad as this is going to make me sound, I really don't like this kid. But Jenny's rose-tinted glasses for him might as well be painted with a coat of black at this point. I don't know, this kind of like mixed metaphors at this point. I don't think you can have rose-tinted glasses that are also painted black. It doesn't make any sense. She legitimately can't stop enabling his bad behavior, let alone recognize it for what it is. The friction has only gotten worse as she moved in with me 2 months ago because they could no longer afford to live alone. I have a basement gym I have poured over $7,000 into, and this is where I'm adding some creative license, after my divorce with my first wife. It has multiple types of high-end barbells, a power rack, and various other equipment. In past days, I was a competitive power lifter, and although I've scaled back a lot on that front, I still train very hard. When Jenny and George moved in, George started to use my home gym uninvited. I first warned him not to. Without being too judgmental right now, why not just help him? You could have a shared interest with your stepson. You could have a hobby together. He could channel what you seem to think are, malevolent urges into something a little bit more productive. But okay, because you spent the money on it, you're not going to it's literally it's just iron bars going up and down. It's not that serious, man. You're not going to let your stepson use your home gym? It just seems insane to me. He's only 14. You just you teach him how to do it right. You could lift weights when you're 14. You ever see Kid Tarzan? He's like a 7-year-old kid who had like a 10-pack. He was on TLC all the time 15 years ago. Just teach him how to work out safely, and then there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, he lied through his teeth and has consistently done it behind my back. Done what? Oh, worked out? Wow, this kid, he's crazy. I can tell because he leaves barbells loaded and equipment moved. Okay, I mean, that's, again, without being an asshole, that's why you should, work out with him. That's bad gym etiquette, is to leave the barbell loaded and, plates all strewn about. But people do that, in their 40s, if you've ever used an actual gym. But you should supervise the kid and be like, hey, put your barbell back. You gotta be a dad. Sorry. You're 37 years old. I then put a lock on the door, very mature, which George broke down with a hammer. I then reinforced the door and put a new lock on, which George could not penetrate. What the hell is going on, man? You reinforce the door? Jenny insists on having a spare key to the basement, and I recently learned she's been loaning it to George. She tried cleaning up after him, but I could tell, since he and she are home during the day as he takes lessons online, plays Minecraft with the teacher muted, I can do nothing about it. Jenny won't return my key either. A couple of days ago, I got home from work and decided to hit the gym. Noticing the door open, I walked down the stairs only to find George in the middle of a bench press set. As I watched from the stairs, he went for 1 rep too many and got pinned. He was in no danger at any point because the barbell was low on his sternum, plus it was only 80 pounds. After 30 seconds of panic mode, he finally got the bright idea to dump the weight, to which I gave him a slow clap. You let this kid flounder for 30 seconds thinking he was going to, crush his rib cage? I know it's only 80 pounds, but, if this post has to be fake, because otherwise this guy should be minority reported. He should be in prison. I don't know if it's a crime to let your teenage stepson think that he's going to die from a bench press gone wrong. But this guy seems I'm just going to say it. It seems like he drives a Dodge Ram, doesn't use his signal light, and then tries to antagonize people on the road so that he can get into a road rage incident and have an opportunity to kill you. He seems like an insane person. They're coming to take him away right now. I don't know if you can hear the sirens. I started to tell him that's what happens when you work out alone. Okay! We're almost on like this. We're parallel lines destined to never meet. Why don't you just work out together, man? It's crazy. He then shrieked at me, red faced, probably because he it literally was in like mortal fear and scared. Then he insulted my strength, to which I responded, I'm not the one getting pinned under an 80-pound bench. He ran upstairs basically in tears and told Jenny what I had said. Jenny's also furious with me, and they're both giving me the silent treatment. She says I should have handled the situation better, but I say I kind of did when I installed a heavy-duty door and put a new lock on it. I'm going to be changing the lock tomorrow. Least insane divorced stepdad Redditor? If this post is fake, and there's a chance that it is because it's on Am I the Asshole, I commend the creative writing because it's not so heavy-handed as to be like immediately dismissible as fake, because I think we all know somebody in our lives that are, you know, like their masculinity is so fragile that they're like, no, I would never let my stepson work out in my gym. I paid for it. Why should he be able to work out? Why should a child that's part of my family be able to share some of my property when I'm the one who had to scan my Amex to get it? Like there's people like that. It's so obvious that like if this is real, all you have to do is start working out with your stepson, and then you like it's like a movie. You build like an awesome bond with one another. Your kid becomes young Hercules. He gets his own TLC, you know, special. He gets 1 million followers on Instagram. You know, it's like a path to success. But instead, what do? It's like Rainbow Six Siege. You're putting up like a damn castle wall. He's using a sledgehammer to break it down, and then you got like a frost bear trap just underneath it. The cat. I mean, and also like it's unconscionable to watch your stepson, even if he's not in physical risk like of injury, to watch your stepson like think that he's like just be scared and panicked for 30 seconds and not help. Like you should help a stranger in that situation. Obviously, not helping your own stepson is truly madness. Like that's I mean if this is real, I don't want to diagnose you, but because I'm not a psychiatrist, I can't be disbarred for doing so. Seems a little like you might be like a sociopath or something. I don't know. You seem to only consider how things affect you, which is particularly insane because you're 36 years old and this is literally just a child. Anyway, I wanna take a look at some of the comments to feel like potentially validated on this. Okay, if you don't like her son, I would end the relationship, to be honest. Fairly reasonable take. But also maybe like make an effort. That would probably be like my first thing, is maybe like make an effort. Not the asshole. Sorry, I got stunlocked for a second when I saw the guy because I'm like, they mean that you're the asshole, right? Like I just can't believe that the second post that was awarded Reddit comment for this, I actually did not, it didn't hit the part of my brain that allowed me to interpret it. Not the asshole. I think you're the one viewing things through rose-tinted glasses. It's not just a matter of enabling him. Your girlfriend is using you. She's refusing to give you the spare key to your gym for the sole purpose of using it to violate your wish to not have that kid in there. Sorry, I said your kid. That's my mistake. That kid. This is beyond disrespectful. And now you have to change the lock again. You have no choice but to change the lock one more time because she will not relinquish the key. Even better, she's punishing you with the silent treatment. Question. What happens when she demands the new key for the new lock you'll get? Will she keep giving you the silent treatment until you yield? This relationship isn't healthy. Edit. Thanks for the awards and stuff, kind strangers. Holy cow. This is like, and somebody said this in the Discord yesterday, and it's completely true, or at least matches my preconceived notions of am I the asshole. There is a group of people out there, I don't even know, they might even be 51% plus of the population, that basically thinks you have complete control over everything in your own house at all times. And not only do you have control, but you should exercise that control at all times. I can't imagine putting yourself in a position where you forbid your 14-year-old stepson from using your home gym. It just, why would you, like, if at any point he said something like, I'm worried he's going to get injured, then I would be like, okay, that makes sense. Maybe, like, I'm not saying the kid is not going to, like, go around him, but, like, maybe, like, hey, only work out when you're, like, with me, like, supervised, you know, we're going to teach you safety rules and stuff. Like, if he ever said, like, it's dangerous, that's fine, but he didn't. Instead, he mentioned the price tag for how much the gym cost him, which I think you can read between the lines and figure out why he doesn't want someone else to use it. You know, he spent $7,000 not only to have his own home gym, but also because it allows him to exclude other people from it. Even though this seems like a no-brainer opportunity to like bond with your child and or your stepson. Anyway, I came just the idea. Look, the idea that like, well, if your girlfriend was unable to pay for her own living expenses, and now she has the audacity to defy your orders in your own house, this is and then when she's mad at you for potentially letting her son think that he's in mortal danger, she has the audacity to give you the silent treatment in your own house? Like what? It's a scary thought, man, that this has 8,000 upvotes. Just my personal take. The narwhal do be baconing at midnight, though, for sure. I came here to say this. Her absolute lack of respect for you and your property shows how little she thinks of your relationship. I'm not saying you can't break gym equipment, but so much of it is literally like iron bars and solid like metal plates. What's he gonna do? Like this guy's powerlifting. He's got barbells. He's got plates. He has a squat rack. You know? It's not like it's a Bowflex. He's gonna get the iron peacock feathers like tangled or something. I just don't understand. They're so concerned about the you might drop a plate on the ground or something like that. What are you talking about? I'm just like, nobody's concerned about the child hurting himself. He was literally trapped under the bar. Everybody's concerned about the damage that he might do to the $7,000 home gym that consists exclusively of like iron circles. It's crazy, man. There's nothing here to salvage. I think you need to kick her out and find a new person to date because there's no repairing the lack of disregard for you. Holy cow. This is madness. Here we go. Also, why do people not talk and find compromises? Like, okay, kid, you really want to use the gym? You can do it 2 times a week or however often with me. No sneaking, no safety issues. It could even be bonding issues with the kid. But no, one side entirely locks down a room instead of finding a way to find safe use. And the other side violently disrespects that. Just fully dysfunctional, the whole thing. Okay, a normal person that exists in the real world. 384 upvotes. How dare your girlfriend give you the silent treatment? 7.8 thousand upvotes, and they gave it someone spent real American dollars to give it a shooting star that shows up when you scroll past it. Like, I don't know why so many relationships in Am I the Asshole end up being like nobody's gonna ever, like if you relinquish control over even the smallest issue of all time, you lose. Like at one point, don't you just realize like this shit isn't fucking worth it? And be like, okay, sorry, let's move on. Like let's get back to our lives, that like the important parts, instead of getting sidetracked by like a stupid like prideful argument for like a month. There's no way to live, man. And the most normal Redditors of all time. Hey, why wouldn't you just bond with him? Hey, why? He's a 14-year-old boy who wants to work out. You clearly like working out. Why wouldn't you just bond with him? Jenny's the worst. The worst. Jenny's are always the worst. So true. Most sane Redditor in the comments spotted. What the hell are you even talking about? Not the asshole. And it's a good idea for George and Jenny to move out as soon as they can. She is enabling his bad behavior and showing zero respect for you. Whatever you do, don't marry this woman unless you want to deal with George for the rest of your life. Your girlfriend doesn't respect you. She has zero respect for you and enables his bad behavior. What's his bad behavior again? Physically exercising. No, NL, that's not right. That's not right. The disrespect is that she didn't do exactly what you said, which, as we all know, is the basis for a healthy relationship. All healthy relationships are essentially just sequences of demand, comply, demand, comply. Do this, I did it. Do this, I did it. Blah, blah, blah. Nobody ever exercises their own autonomy at all, especially not teenagers. But but NL, have you considered it's his house? Have you considered it's his house, his rules? 1.4 thousand likes. Take her key away and kick them out. Jesus, no amount of sex is worth this hassle. This is the most insane thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It has 1.4 thousand likes. Are you actually like 15 years old? What a hassle. You know what? Very good point. What hassle? I had to make fun of my 14-year-old stepson after he almost died doing an irresponsible bench press because I refused to teach him gym safety. It's such a hassle, man. After like a long day of work to have to spend time with my family, no amount of sex is worth the hassle. Friend of mine used to say, they must be a tornado between the sheets when we heard this sort of story. Let me guess. Your friend eventually grew up and was not 21 years old anymore, but you somehow have just stayed locked into this mindset for the rest of your life. What the hell are you talking about? Over and under a minute and only leaving destruction behind? Is this the immortal bard, William Shakespeare? To quote a very old joke, it starts with a lot of sucking and blowing and ends with you losing your house. Oh, dude, truer things have never been said. Holy cow. Dude, women are getting lit up in the comments section. Holy cow. Jeez, Jenny, dude, do not let Jenny see this. She would be like, ah! She'd be like, ah! Oh, man. Holy cow. She would be like Monka Giga featuring Robert Downey Jr. Okay, I would say this is reasonably fair. I'm sorry, I put a lock on the door which George broke down with a hammer in a home they only live in because they couldn't afford to live alone with a hammer. Okay, that is pretty funny. Assuming this is real. I have to put that in there because it probably isn't. Oh, man. I just don't get it, man. Every post is like not the asshole. Do I just live in a different world where like I express my desires to other people and don't expect them to just blindly comply with whatever I want at all times? I accept that when I express a desire, I'm expressing it to another autonomous person who may have a conflicting desire or just a different priority order of things that they want to do like in their own lives. Everybody else appears to be like, well, what I say is the law. How's that working out for you? You got 5,000 upvotes on Reddit, so maybe you're not complaining, but this is Reddit craziness. I'm kind of losing it a little bit. Now the little shit deserved it. I mean, okay, he did break the lock with a hammer. That's a little shitty, but like, it's so crazy to me that you could see your stepson wriggling under a bench press. And he's literally 14 years old. Like, he's in the ninth grade. And you watch it with like Schadenfreude. You're like, ah. Don't worry though, he instantly analyzed the amount of weight on the bar, and also he knows like the strength of a ninth grader's sternum. He's like, I have at least 52 seconds before this becomes a serious deal. He did an ocular pat down. Not the asshole. Are you sure you want the liability of these two in your home? Honestly, not much right now. Jenny has been good to me generally, but she's a terrible mother for George. Plus, as you say, a gigantic financial risk for me. Holy cow. This is the funniest thing I've ever read. You just called your girlfriend a terrible mother and a gigantic financial risk. I mean, he's not saying like the gym is going to break and then he's going to owe $7,000 to rebuild it. He's saying like if the stepson dies in the gym, then he's going to get sued. But like, that's why you should show him how to work out safely, man. You're the one who let him wriggle under the bar, you dickhead. What are you talking about? If he got hurt, Jenny could take me to the cleaners. By the way, am I the asshole for letting him think that he was going to have his thoracic cavity fucking cave in for 30 seconds just to teach him a lesson? He's so like self-pitying. She generally just is this way with anything with regards to George. I wonder why. Maybe because he's her son, and he shouldn't have broken the lock, but he broke the lock to work out, man. He didn't steal your car and go on a joyride. He's doing a bench press. I thought it was something she may get better with, but I'm gradually losing hope as time goes on. That must be hard for you, to balance that along with your alter ego living as the Punisher. That's a lot to put on one man's plate. I got a lot of sympathy for that. Anyway, I think I'm upset with this post, but I'm also feeling powerful as a result of how upset I am. So it feels good, to be honest. How about it? Oh, dude, I can't even. So, sorry to be millennial there with my I can't even, but I can't even resist. I added another word. I can't even resist this one. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay my babysitter? It's the intersection of all of my current interests. Being mad at people and r/shit mom groups say. Okay. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay my babysitter? I, 32F, and my husband, 30 male. I'm inclined to think she's not the asshole because this is the rare Reddit post where the wife is older than the husband. She's girl bossing. Honestly, I'm happy for her. I'm proud of her. I think she's doing great work. Keep it up. I don't even need to read the rest. Just kidding. We planned to go on a date to see a movie at a theater near us. Since the movie was 2 hours long and it's 30 minutes to go there and 30 minutes to go back, the movie was starting at 6 and the kids go to bed at 7 or 8. We hired a babysitter for 3 hours. Totally reasonable. I understand. I posted an ad on a Facebook group for babysitters, and a girl who I'll just call B messaged me saying she would take the job. I have 2 kids, Caleb and Todd, 6 male and 4 male. Hopefully not 6 months and 4 months. Otherwise, like, geez, who the heck is her obstetrician? She's a damn miracle worker. I agreed to pay the amount she requested, which was about $25 per hour per kid. Okay, I mean, that seems like a competitive wage to me. So that's $150 for 3 hours of babysitting. That seems, if I may say so, that seems more than reasonable. Maybe not much more, but reasonable for sure. When B got there, I gave her a list of things I wanted her to do, which included keep them entertained. I'm fine with them just watching TV for a bit, but not over 30 minutes. Can I tell you something? This is a nice to have, not a need to have. I know how this sounds, but I don't think you should hire a babysitter and expect them to be a parent. Sorry. Maybe when you're at the movies, you don't know what's going on in your house. I think the only reasonable expectation I think you can have of a babysitter is that they're gonna supervise your children and keep them safe, and they're gonna eat maybe if they haven't eaten yet, and they're gonna go to bed they're gonna try to go to bed at the right time. The idea that you're basically trying to get someone that you found on Facebook to also uphold all of your like parenting standards for that 3 hour period seems a little unreasonable to me, but maybe other people would disagree. Feed the kids, okay? We have a play set outside and toys in their room. Great news. Sandwiches are fine. They can have something sweet after dinner before they brush their teeth. Make sure they brush their teeth. Put them to bed. Make sure you give them a bit of time after they eat to use the bathroom. Get Caleb to bed around 8 and Todd to bed around 7. This kid's going to bed at 7 p.m. My baby goes to bed at like 8:30. I mean, I would love it if she went to bed at 7, but holy cow. I'm not mad. I'm actually jealous. Kids going to bed at 7? Holy cow, man. My 6-year-old goes to bed at 7:30? Does that invert like at some point? Well, I guess it's a flip side, right? Because right now my daughter wakes up at like 8 a.m. But when she starts going to bed at like 7, she's going to wake up at 5. Once the naps go away, it starts to invert. Okay, that's honest. I don't know if I'm looking forward to. I guess it's just life. Anyway, that's fine. And so my husband and I left and drove off. When returning, I walked into the house and my boys were playing on the couch. Kids should have been asleep for at least an hour or two by now. This already made me a bit angry. Hey, we got to hear why they're not in bed, okay? This already made me a bit angry since I had put the times on the list of things I needed from B. The kids had food stains all over their mouth and hands, and there were candy wrappers and paper plates on the floor and the couch. They also had half their toys on the floor, and B wasn't watching them. I asked my husband to put the kids to bed, and I'd find and talk to B. I went into my kitchen. She had her phone in her hand and was sitting at my dining table. When she noticed me, she looked up and asked if I needed a minute to go get her money. Sorry, 1 second. I'm getting lost in the paragraph here. Or if I already had it on me. I told her she would not be getting paid as she did not do any work and did not take care of my children. She yelled at me that we agreed on me paying her and that she tried to take care of my kids, but they weren't listening. I yelled at her to get out of my house, and she left without getting paid. My kids aren't perfectly behaved, and I can definitely imagine them giving B a hard time. I also feel bad now that I've gotten some talking tos from other moms, and I don't think that any of the babysitters will accept my sitting requests now. So Reddit, am I the asshole? Okay. I would straight up hit you with an everybody sucks here. And I would also hit you with maybe a suggestion that this is why you don't hire a stranger from Facebook to babysit your children. The correct course of outcome, or the correct course of action, I should say, is that you had a nice date night. You pay her the $150, and then you never hire her again. And you tell everybody you know that she was not a good babysitter. You undermine her business in a sinister fashion from the outside, rather than just hit her with like one data point that's going to cause her a little bit of pain. You dig out the foundation of her business from the outside. That's taking the high road. Okay? Write that down. At the end of the day, I mean, you got 3 hours of babysitting. The babysitting just fucking sucked. Like, it sounds like she's a really bad babysitter. You pay the $150. I mean, like, you're not, without being unreasonable, you're not God. This isn't like a home renovation. This isn't like a lawyer. What are you gonna? You're really gonna be like, oh well, actually, the correct course of action was to dock her pay by $50. What are you like? Just pay her what you said you were gonna pay her, and then never hire her again. You're really going to waste your time being like, well, you only gave me $75 worth of babysitting? To me, that doesn't make any sense. I definitely still feel like she's the asshole. I like she's the asshole, but also the babysitter is really bad. She's not a good babysitter. I do legal work and I charge less per hour than the babysitter. You do legal work and you charge less than $25 per hour? $50. Well, it's 2 kids. You charge $25 per hour per client? Per signee on the class action lawsuit. You've said the statement that now has me asking more questions, you know? I'm just scared. Like, I don't know. Like, not to be rude, but I think if I had a lawyer and he was like, I worked on this file for 4 hours, you owe me $100, I would be like, I think I'm going to seek new representation. How can you keep the lights on? That's like half a workday, man. You have an office in a big glass building. It just doesn't seem like this is sustainable. Anyway, I mean, I don't know how much more there is to mine here. I definitely think they're like both assholes. I mean, I think it's like an open and dry case. For me, you pay the price that you quoted them, and then you're unhappy with the service and you never use them again. Am I the asshole for asking my wife to use our last name on her doctorate? I'm not, look, the edit, so many of the edits, people are like, read the edit, read the edit. The edit like never changes anything. It's the OP getting stun locked because people are like, I don't know if you're the asshole, but $150 for babysitting is too much. And then they go, well, I know I quoted them a high rate, but in my area, there's a high cost of living and blah, blah, blah. Like it's stuff that makes no difference whatsoever to the original post most of the time. Am I the asshole for throwing my McDonald's bag back inside the drive-thru window? Post has been deleted. Am I the asshole for throwing my wife's phone out the window because she wouldn't stop texting her friend when we're at the cottage? Oh, man. This shit always gets me, man. Oh, come on. And then I'm not even going to put it up on the screen because it's like, at first you're like, you should never throw your wife's phone. And then here we go. She couldn't stop messaging her writing friend. All they talk about are characters and role-playing them with each other. My wife is looking for a serious career in writing, but this is literally just for fun. She's never going to publish this dark academia borderline fan fiction. Okay, fucking stop making stuff up, asshole. Get like a real hobby. It's madness. Am I the asshole for expecting... This one seems real, even though it has a throwaway account name with 4 numbers at the end of it. Am I the asshole for expecting my boyfriend to help fix the house we live in? I don't think it's real. I'm looking at it and I'm saying I don't think it's real. I'm sorry to tell... I don't know if this is the end of React Court or what, but so many of these posts are just... They're just bait, man. Yeah, I'm protecting you from the bait by not putting it up on the screen because I don't want you to waste your good judgment juice on fake posts. And so many of these are fake posts. How about this one? This seems... The more mundane, the happier I am. Because I think it's more likely to be realistic. Like, so many of the fake posts are like, me, 75, male, and my girlfriend, 19F, female, who is blind, were in an ambulance on the way to the moon. Whereas this one is, I mean, this seems pedestrian, and I'm more likely to believe it as a result. Maybe I have a bias towards that. Am I the asshole for leaving the house while my girlfriend is still sleeping? Let's find out. So I made plans for us to get up, go to work at a go work at a coffee shop, not as a barista, but on your laptop, okay? Then meet my family for lunch, then go to the market. Very nice day. Honestly, sounds like a very nice day. That sounds delightful. My girlfriend likes to sleep in, and I get up super early, 5:30 to 6 a.m. I told her I wanted to leave early, like 7 a.m., because I had a ton of work to do before seeing my family. This is tough, because everybody's got their own standards, but leaving the house at 7 a.m., when you're not like, I get that he's getting work done, but you're not going to like a shift that starts at 8. That's too early, in my opinion. If she doesn't have to be there, like leaving the house at 7 a.m., bro, I'm at work at 7. Yeah, but she's not working. Like, she doesn't have to be there. You know what? I'm not saying 7 is like too early to open your eyes and be awake. I'm just saying, like, you know, you're starting a day. He planned for a very nice day. She has to be up at 6:15 so she can take a shower, so she could dry her hair, to leave the house at 7 a.m. Why does it, I mean, if he's got to get some work done, why doesn't he just get some work done from 7 to 9 in his apartment? And then when she wakes up and she's ready to go, they could go to the coffee shop and do some more. I mean, these are very normal hours. I'm telling you, I'm out of the house at like 7:30 sometimes. There's fucking nobody on the sidewalk, and I live in a big city. At 4 p.m., it's rush hour. You're getting electric scooters are crashing into you. Uber Eats cyclists with like big backpacks full of soups that are half spilled are jostling right next to you. Not that many people are leaving the house at 7 a.m. for a day of leisure. If they are, they're going to the damn mountain or something like that. They're not going to Starbucks. But anyway, she expressed how exhausted and tired she was yesterday. So this morning when I woke up at 6, considering we went to bed at 11:30 p.m., I didn't wake her up and let her sleep. I got ready to leave and went to give her a kiss goodbye while telling her, take all the time you need. Meet me at the coffee shop. I don't want to rush you. I know you're tired. She all of a sudden gets all cold with me saying, OMG, why didn't you wake me up? I thought we were going to go together. Daryl. She said we're leaving at 6:15. Tell me my ass isn't sitting in the car until 6:45. I come inside. She's stepping out the damn shower like, can I help you? I looked this woman in her optic stems. And I said, honestly, this is relatable. I don't think I've ever had a situation like this, to be honest. I think I would just be chilling I'd be getting my work done in the living room. You got Wi-Fi. Like, I don't understand. I expressed I wanted to let her sleep because I know how tired she was and she can just meet me later. Later being an hour later so she can get ready while I get a head start on my work. Are you the barista? Then you gotta go. I understand. I don't know. I just don't understand why you gotta be at the coffee shop to start your work. It just seems like you could do like a split shift and do half of it in the living room and half of it at the Starbucks. I finally leave the house. She texts me basically saying she doesn't understand why I was able to wake her up to say goodbye, but not able to wake her up when I woke up. She later texts me arguing, saying that it isn't fair that we made plans and I'm going off on my own without her. All I wanted to do was make her sleep in more because I know how tired she was. She starts with the name calling, etc. What? And I told her, instead of arguing with me, since you're already up, get ready and come. The coffee place is 10 minutes from our house. She says she doesn't want to drive there and pay for parking and pay for gas. Relatable with the current prices, for sure. I don't know if she expected me to drive back and pick her up. I really think she's being a baby. To be honest with you, I would agree with that. As much as I think that this dude's He's a little too early pilled for my standards. I do think she's being a little bit of a baby about it. Unreliable narrator. Yeah, it's kind of like this is like the 2022's House of Leaves. I think she's being a baby. My solution would be get in your car, drive over. It's not that difficult. I apologize for not waking her up, but I genuinely just wanted her to sleep. She finally basically cancels all our daily plans and says, "Have a nice day." Whew. I'm sitting in the coffee shop alone now. It's been 2 hours. She isn't coming. So am I the asshole for leaving while she's sleeping? No, she's the asshole. Even though I kind of... Sorry, I need to scroll down a little bit. Sorry. She's the asshole for sure. I don't think this is everybody sucks at all. At some point, I mean, I guess I can't say in every relationship, but have I had situations where my wife said, "Hey, I want to get up early tomorrow. Wake me up when you get up at 6:30," and then she comes to bed at like 12, and I'm like, "Well, this is a damn poison pill, man. You want me to be the first thing you see when you open your eyes after not getting a good night's sleep?" It seems like I'm kind of accepting a suicide pass on that one. The alternative is that, Kate would say the same thing. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens now and then. You get up and you're faced with a decision. Am I going to wake up my wife because she told me to wake her up and risk that she's going to be annoyed with me because she's not going to feel like she had a good night's sleep? Or am I going to let her sleep a little bit? Not because I'm protecting her feelings, but because I know that how important a good night's sleep is to her. Everybody's going to find themselves in that position from time to time. And can I be honest with you? I've done both. There's been times where I was like, she needs to do something in the AM, and then you just take the bullet. You wake her up at 6:30 and say, "You told me to do this." And then there's some times where she's like, "I would like to get up earlier tomorrow. Can you wake me up?" And then I leave, like I get up from my side of the bed and she looks like she's deep in REM sleep. And I'm like, I'm not going to wake her up. Are you insane? You gotta be out of your mind if you think I'm gonna, like, if someone looks like they're dead while they're sleeping, I'm not. If they're like rolling around and like then you can shake them a little bit. But if they look like they're dead, I'm not gonna wake you up unless it's urgent. And I don't even think we need to look at the comments. You're not the asshole. Obviously, your girlfriend is a little insane. It is funny that you had so much work to do in the damn coffee shop, and yet you're spending all this time typing up the damn Reddit posts. No wonder you got to get to the coffee shop. You got 2 hours of work. You're stretching it out to 6 hours. I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't have woken her up. I guess all I'm saying is, like, she should understand that she didn't get woken up because he wanted her to sleep more. There's no reason to blow up a parenthetical very nice day over a judgment call like that. Okay, let me guess. Am I the asshole for being upset that my sister made me a birthday cake? My sister has a Purple Heart. She was shot in the Peace Corps trying to deliver medicine in Mali in 2009. Just give me a second here. Let me find it. Let me find the part where, like, you go in on somebody for being an asshole, and then there's actually like a condition that means they have to be an asshole, and you can't judge them. I'm not reading this. This is teenage drama. This post boils down to, my sister made me a birthday cake, but the cursive writing on the cake looked really bad. Okay. God, I miss being 17. This shit would ruin your night. The cursive on my cake? Like the lady on Kitchen Nightmares on that one episode where they ran out of buns, so they have to serve her a burger on sourdough bread. And she's like, I've never been at a restaurant where they ran out of buns before. Like it's just really hard. Oh man. I think we got one more in us. Oh. Am I the asshole for not making my son's friend breakfast? It's so. Oh, okay. So this is it. Here you go. I was gonna be like, you just chose not to. Then at the end of it, I'm a single mom and groceries are expensive. Okay, fine. You got me. No, you're not an asshole. Fair enough. Also, Sweden detected. This post is brought to you by Sweden. Am I the asshole for not telling my boyfriend how I it's only because I respect the EU's right to be forgotten laws for internet privacy that I don't go in the internet archive and go to this. Am I the asshole for the strict schedule I have my kids on? Post has been deleted. Oh, that shit would have been so good. I could have chewed on that bone for like 20 minutes, man. You deleted it. Come on. Okay. Am I the asshole for not telling my boyfriend how much money I make? That's how we know it was real. That's true. We need to go to r/am I the asshole deleted, because no throwaway would ever delete something. They'd be like, look at how mad people are. I'm an amazing creative writer. It's only when people start to get blowback on a real story that they're like, I gotta get this shit out of here immediately. Okay. Am I the asshole for not telling my boyfriend how much money I make? I'm baffled by this situation. I'm 24, I finished college last year, and have been working since then in my current job. I do not make a huge amount of money, but I make enough to take care of myself and afford some nice things. My boyfriend is 29, he works in tech, and he makes a lot more than me. I've never asked him. He volunteered this info many times. He does work in tech. He told me that, by the way, amazing sentence. This is actually a great writer. Because what she could have said to get people to, in her head, she would have been like, this would get more people on my side. She could have said, my boyfriend always volunteers how much he makes, and it makes me feel belittled. But she didn't have to write that. She just wrote what happened and then is letting normal people interpret that. And I'm like, I already have a preconceived notion about her boyfriend as a result. That's great writing. That's showing, not telling. I don't need to know how you feel. You said how you feel just by saying what happened. He told me he was planning to propose soon, but he actually can't do it without knowing his stance on some important things about me. Not unreasonable. Those important things are my financial situation. You should not get married without knowing that. That seems fair to me. That doesn't seem like an unreasonable thing if you're going to, if you're going to marry somebody. How my family would react to his proposal, because we come from different cultures, okay. Whether we would move in together after we're engaged, again, it's a culture thing. Okay? I told him my financial situation. I don't have any debt, and I'm in the process of saving up and building an emergency fund before I can think of what I'll do with my money. Now, again, now you've done the same thing you did in the first paragraph, but you've done it in a different way. And they're not married, but it's the my money part of that just to me is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, at least in my own brain right now. You're talking about getting married. It is your money, but also if you get married, it's kind of your money. I guess everybody's got a different arrangement for that sort of stuff. But anyway, he needs to know how much I make exactly. I don't want to tell him, but I give him a range. Still not enough. He's so mad about it. He says finances are important for a couple and he needs to know I'm financially responsible. But if he needs a specific amount to know that, I say he doesn't actually know me and maybe he should use his critical thinking skills and look at all the time we've spent together and conclude whether I'm actually responsible with my money or not. He accused me of not trusting him and hiding things. And he told me he can't be around me right now and left. Actual sanest fiance or boyfriend in Reddit history. Rare sane man on Reddit in a post. I'm actually baffled that it's creating such a fight. Am I wrong? I don't want to share that. But listen, you don't have to share your salary, but you kind of have to share it with your, if you want to get married to somebody. You don't have to like tell somebody on the bus the exact dollar amount that you make annually, but like I think you kind of, it's a reasonable standard to tell your spouse. I also don't understand why you would give a range, but then be like, I'm not gonna give you the exact number. Also, like, so when you gave him a range, your actual salary was just the exact midpoint, right? Like, nobody in the middle of an argument is going to be like, I'm going to give a range and I'm going to be near the bottom end, right? Like, nobody, they're just going to be like, okay, I make 65,000 a year. I make between 60 and 70. So, like, just the first thing I would say is read between the lines. I just don't understand, though, why you would be like, here's a range. Well, I don't know, was the range like $1 million range? Like I make between $1 and $1 million? Otherwise, like, why would you be so concerned about the specific number? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if I would assume, depending on her salary, that a reasonable range might be like 10 to 20,000. You couldn't just bite the bullet and be like, it's in the middle of that number that I gave you. 1 to 10 more billion. I mean, if she's making a more $1 billion a year, be careful because she works for Sony Pictures. I don't necessarily think she's hiding something. I just think she's being kind of a weirdo, to be honest. It just seems like a weird thing to be like, I refuse to give you an exact number. Instead, I'm going to give you an estimate. And then draw a line in the sand and be like, that's too much. No debt is great. Don't get me wrong. Maybe, look, I've got too many plus twos. Let's farm some minus twos. I don't like the way the husband said, tell me about your financial situation. And part of her reply is, I'm still considering what to do with my money. I feel like if a potential wife asked her husband that question and the husband said, I'm still figuring out what to do with my money, people would be like, well, if we get married, we'll talk about what to do with that money. I wouldn't even say our money. I would just say we'll talk about, because like, I know they're not engaged yet, but like two people that are like in a relationship together, not married, maybe she's saving up some money to buy a jet ski. But if they're going to get married, you might want to start talking about, hey, that jet ski fund that you're working on, you know, if depending on how we're going to do the marriage, you know, they need a deposit for the wedding planner and the venue. And maybe we're going to work on getting a down payment or something like that. And so like you might have to be like, you know, put the jet ski off to the side. Although he is also very boastful about his salary, so maybe that's going to come back to bite him in the ass. Maybe he's going to pay for a jet ski and the wedding and the down payment, but I don't know. But I don't know. Not everybody's the same with their married financials, for sure. Like some people are like everything's in a pool, and then some people are like we have separate finances, but like a shared household account that we both put money into in order to cover shared living expenses and stuff like that. Not everybody's on the same page. But I do think it's reasonable to know your spouse's salary. I mean, I get that they're not married yet. But I could also understand, like, I don't think the guy overreacted. I think he asked for what should be open information between a married couple, and she said, I refuse to give it to you. And he's like, okay, weirdos, see you in like 2 days. That seems totally normal to me. I don't know. I don't see a lot of disagreement, but hold on. I do want to. I'm a glutton for punishment. Let's go find the first not the asshole comment. It's probably the top comment. IMO, if you're not willing to share that information with him, I suspect you have other concerns. Okay. Sane Redditor spotted, in my opinion. Everybody sucks here. Okay, but like, how does the boyfriend suck? That's my only question. She sucks. I'm not debating that. Okay, just 1 second. BF has told OP he won't propose unless she discloses income. OP has decided she won't disclose income until after he proposes. Chicken or the egg? Just because two people have a condition like this does not mean it's an unsolvable chicken or the egg. That's not how chicken and the egg works. Chicken and the egg is like, we don't know what came first because one came from the other. This is somebody trying to create a chicken and the egg situation when actually one person has a reasonable request and then the other person is like, I will not fulfill your reasonable request until. It's like, what if he was like, hey, do you have a criminal record? And she was like, well, I'm not going to tell you that until you propose. That's not a chicken and the egg situation. You're about to marry a felon. It's not a catch-22. It's just one person creating deadlock for no reason. Yo, Ron, thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. She's holding information ransom. I'll give you a range of felonies I've committed. Oh my God. Hi, I know you're getting some rough comments in this thread, so I wanted to shed some perspective. I've been in your shoes, coming from a different cultural background, with certain subjects only come to light post-engagement or post-marriage. I am a 1.5 gen immigrant in a relationship with a much less conservative partner. You are currently 24 and still learning your own footing in the world with your career, your salary, and your role in this relationship. You have likely your whole life considered and set milestones of, without being rude, blah, blah, blah. I believe this is a soft, you're the asshole. Not because of what people are saying, but because you are saying that you are comfortable being in a relationship with someone with these guards up. I don't believe you are ready to be serious enough for an engagement, and that is fine. But you gotta, I don't think this is right. I think she just needs to disclose the information. So now you've taken it a step further. That's like, because she's unwilling to disclose this information, she's not emotionally prepared for marriage. People are insane. Everybody's insane in their own way. If you waited until everything in your life was like exactly lined up to hit major milestones, you would never go anywhere. It's just, now you've gone too far. You've gone too far in the other direction of you're not mature enough to get married right now. Good luck in your journey? What the heck? What are you, good luck in your journey? It's just an argument, man. I don't understand. Good luck in your journey? Your journey to text your husband your salary? You better pack a granola bar. If you're not ready to share, then you aren't ready to get married and your boyfriend needs to move on. If you're not ready to get married right away, you guys should just break up. You're 24. You're the asshole. With engagement in the cards, I'll assume you guys are in a long-term relationship, so he deserves to know. Yeah, I mean, okay, reasonable, very reasonable. Finances are a key. Okay, these are too reasonable. These are too reasonable. Too reasonable. Where's my insane Redditors at? Where's all the Redditors that were posting in the $7,000 home gym where a guy almost watched his stepson die? That were like, he disrespected you. You should throw her shit on the sidewalk outside and change the locks. You're the asshole. Why are you dying on this hill? Why are you unwilling to share the exact amount? Why not tell him? Forgot to tell you you're the asshole. You're the asshole. LOL. Holy cow. She's getting lit up, man. You're the asshole. I don't know if you're a troll or not because you keep arguing and repeating yourself. You're the asshole, not ready to get married. Soft, you're the asshole. You're the, oh my God. Holy cow. You're the asshole. You're the asshole. You're the asshole. You're the asshole. Yo, I'm not starting to feel bad for this lady, man. She's getting damn rolled. This is crazy. There's not like a single dissenting opinion here. Oh my God. I'm scrolling. I'm down in the freaking 49 upvotes. Anyway, well, that was fun. They're beating their ass in the quote retweets. You're not wrong. I'm going to slash.